There's one issue, this one relic of pandemic politics that is still lingering today, and that's the United States border vaccine measure. It's something I hear about in my constituency office every day. And there's an upcoming opportunity for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to address this issue, that is, getting this border vaccine mandate lifted, and it's coming up really soon. Now, I'm going to break that down for you, and I have written an article that outlines all the politics and all the reasons behind it, but I need to ask you to do something. The link to this article, I'm posting it in the comments. I need you to click on the link and read it, and most importantly, hit subscribe. There's two things that are happening. So recently, Google said that they were going to ban Canadian news in light of Bill C-18. This is just one of Justin Trudeau's frankly, censorship bills. And the other thing that Justin Trudeau's other censorship bill, Bill C-11, it is back before the House of Commons in a certain aspect, and it is the Liberals, we know the Liberals and the NDP are going to do a full court press to put this censorship bill in place. If you click on the link to this article that is in the comments right now and hit subscribe, it allows me to bypass the Facebook algorithms, bypass Google. Facebook has also said that they're considering banning news in light of these bills, and it allows me to communicate directly with you on important issues like this. I don't know how long I'm going to have to be able to communicate or invite you to do things like subscribe. It just allows me to tell you what's going on and sort of skip the algorithms and skip the impacts of Justin Trudeau's censorship bills. So this issue here, it's really important to many of you, and it relates to the US border vaccine measure. So what is this? The US border vaccine measure, it's been in place for a long time. Essentially, it's if you are a foreign national, if you're not a citizen of the United States, you have to be fully vaccinated to enter the United States. So Canada lifted its border measures in October of last year, but the United States did not offer reciprocity or follow suit after the Canadians did that. Canadian government did the same. Canadians are disproportionately impacted because of this decision, because of the length of our border and the interconnectedness of our two countries. So there have been bipartisan elected officials, mayors, US congresspeople, senators that have called for this measure to be lifted, but that measure has been stalled. And because it only impacts foreign nationals, a lot of Americans, there haven't been a lot of public outcry in the United States. Conservative members of Parliament in Canada last fall actually wrote to both Justin Trudeau and Joe Biden calling on this to be lifted. And it's not just a political issue. Major economic groups like the Canadian Trucking Alliance, who try to organize logistics and deal with supply chain issues in Canada, they've been calling for this measure to be lifted, saying it's causing economic concern. There's a lot of tourism operators that have been impacted by this. And frankly, there's a lot of families and people that have blended families across borders that have been impacted by this measure as well. So I hear about it all the time from you writing into my office, yet the Americans have not moved on this. But the interesting thing is that Justin Trudeau has not really publicly raised this as an issue. Again, if you go to the comment in the links, it's pinned in the comments, hit subscribe, read this article. Everything that I'm in here telling you about is in this article for you to share and for you to read. But Justin Trudeau has a political problem, right? Because he has spent so much time on divisive politics in around vaccine mandates in the 2021 election that he didn't leave himself a lot of room to maneuver on this issue. So he hasn't publicly raised this. And what he's essentially done is given the American government a leverage point with us on this issue, because they know that this is an irritant for many Canadians, right? And it's costing them very little to sort of extend this in spite of legislators and some economic groups pushing for this to be lifted. So what does that mean? That means that Justin Trudeau is the one who has to take responsibility for calling on this to be ended. Now, Trudeau's going to have an opportunity to do this in the next month, because it was announced that American President Joe Biden was going to come to Canada on a state visit. And that's typically when major issues of concern in diplomatic relations are raised. This should be on his list, yet we haven't heard a peep about this from Justin Trudeau, and that needs to change. And that's why I wrote this article. And again, if you're lucky enough to see this, I don't know if you're going to be in the future, given Bill C-18 and Bill C-11, click on the link in the comment and please hit subscribe so that I can communicate with you directly. Now, there are going to be people who are watching this, and I know that there are going to be people, and I put this in the article, who are going to say, well, that's an easy problem to solve. Just go get vaccinated. Well, here's the reality in year 4 of the pandemic. Our country needs to heal from pandemic policies. I think that there's been way too much division. We need to move on. We need to heal as a country, and we need to address some of the big concerns that are facing our country as well. And continuing divisive policies that, and here's the other reality, aren't doing what they were designed to do any longer, it's just foolish. It's bad leadership. You know, anybody who now is, you know, we're in year 4 of the pandemic, anybody who has not gotten vaccinated, the reality is they're probably not going to. They're not likely to, certainly not under the divisive tone of the debate. These restrictions that were put in place were designed to encourage people to get vaccinated. Well, we're in year 4. All this is doing at this point is affecting our economy. It's affecting bilateral relationships. And it's also impacting families that are separated across the border. In the link in this article here, I've got links to stories of families who have been separated. I've got links to the Canadian Trucking Alliance's statement and more. So again, this is something that Conservative MPs have been calling on the government to address for some time. The Prime Minister of Canada is going to have an opportunity to address this with the American president in an upcoming state visit. And this should be an issue that they bring up. There shouldn't be silence on this because frankly, as a country, we need to heal, and this is a roadblock to healing in our country. This is a policy that should be lifted. So I've got a lot more information in this article for you. Again, you can click on the link here. You guys know I'm trying to put more written content out for you so that you can read, you can click links, you can share this with people. And most importantly, I'm trying to escape the algorithms of Facebook, of other platforms, and especially the impacts of Justin Trudeau's censorship bills like Bill C-18 and Bill C-11 that platforms like Facebook, like Google have said that they are going to start, and they have started in some cases, banning news. I don't know what that means for me because of these bills. So share this video, but most importantly, click on the link in the comments, read this article, share it with friends, and subscribe so that I can stay in contact with you to talk to you about issues that might not get reported on, or the attention that they need in mainstream media, and the work that we're doing in Canada to ensure that all Canadians have a bright and prosperous future. Working hard for you in Ottawa. Have a great day.